What is up, everybody? Welcome to the NXT Post Show. It's your girl, Denise Salcedo. In just a couple of moments, I will be joined by Chinedu, who's running a few minutes behind today, but it's all right. We are here and we are ready to get into NXT. First of all, I want to say that I'm very excited to be back on this particular show here today because last week I didn't get to tune in and watch NXT because last week I was dying of the stomach bug, but obviously now I'm great, all is well. So I was very excited because I'm like, I haven't talked about NXT in what feels like forever, even though it's just been a week. I still feel like it's been such a long time since I've gotten the chance to talk about NXT. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into that in just a second. But before I do, today's episode, though, I will tell you this: I felt like this was a pretty strong episode of NXT. I didn't even watch live, actually. I was a few minutes, probably a little bit more than a few minutes. I would say I started about like 35 minutes late, and even then I just was able to get through the entire thing and finish everything and catch up on the live. But here we go. We got here. Hey, Chinedu, how's it going?
Hey, going good. Just wrapped up a great UH game. Cougars won, by the way, against Oklahoma State. They're trash, not better than us. Happy to be in here. I watched NXT during the whole game, though. Don't feel. I'm sorry, Cougar fans, you watched. I watched NXT throughout the whole game. I couldn't help myself, but I have no regrets. It was a great episode.
You're multitasking. That's what you got to do these days. But man, I was just telling the people, Chinedu, that I'm very excited to be back here because we weren't here last week. So today to be back, to be able to chat some NXT. And I feel like there was a lot that went down on this episode because they're building towards Vengeance Day. We're obviously coming off of the Royal Rumble, which had a heavy NXT influence. So I want to start there. Before we dive into the episode, let's start with that NXT influence of we saw we saw Lash Legend. We saw Stephanie Vaquer, Roxane Perez. We also
Jada Parker.
Jada Parker, your girl, on the Women's Royal Rumble. I mean, that was massive. A lot of NXT women on the show. So, man, how'd you feel first and foremost seeing that at the Rumble?
I was very excited to see that, Denise. You know, NXT has a special place in my heart, especially the women's division. Because as you said, the women are the money. They are, and they always will be. And seeing all of them in that match was so exciting because they all got to have some shine in there. Lash Legend is a star. The run she did to that ring, the stride this track star had was amazing. It just showed that she's truly going to be the next Eris Glamazon. She was amazing. Jada Parker, of course. Jada, listen, Jada. I went out there, did a thing. I love seeing everyone else in there. Roxane Perez held her. I mean, the Iron Woman. I was so excited for her, so proud of her. You know, I'm big time Booker T reality wrestling, H-Town energy out here. Love me some Roxanne, a.k.a. Roxy. That was her original name on the indie, so I'm excited for her. I do have one critique. I was expecting and hoping to also see Lola Vice in there. I wasn't sure why she wasn't in there. I would have loved to see her in that match, though, but everything else was great.
And Giulia, I have to mention Giulia, of course, too. Man, I was like, wait, who else did I miss? I knew I missed somebody else. Like I said, there were a lot of NXT women in the Rumble. But the fact that Roxane Perez made it to the final two with Charlotte Flair, I mean, of course, at that point, everybody pretty much knew, like, okay, Charlotte Flair is going to win. She's going to take this. But to me, speaking specifically for Roxanne, speaking specifically for what she represents, which is the NXT brand, I thought that was a massive win for her just to, make it as far as she did, as long as she did, and then to be in those final pivotal moments, which we all know the final, two people in any Royal Rumble is the most exciting part. And so Roxanne, she got a lot of new eyeballs on her in that moment.
I definitely agree. I was so excited for her to last that long, that kind of record. To me, that's only like indicative of her being called up to the main roster much, much sooner than later. And I was very excited about that. She even hinted at going to Raw. And I would love to see her on that Raw roster. That would be a good addition to. She would be a great addition to it. And to see her in that match and the way she just worked as a heel. Because, again, seeing Roxanne through her whole career as a babyface is what I've always been used to. So seeing her work as a heel, not only as a heel, but to me, one of the best heels on NXT is just truly amazing. I couldn't be more happy for the ladies of NXT at Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it was a good stuff. I was so happy every time an NXT girl came out. I
Yes.
was like, yes, this is your chance to freaking show people. But all right,
Yes.
we're gonna go ahead and dive into some super chats, see what the people have to say, and then we'll kick things off with the women's segment because I feel like that's where I want to get started. But we got Sheldon Jackson here who says, glad to see JDC return to NXT, but he's been back for, oh, sorry, but she's been back for 4 days, and I'm already tired of Charlotte. When she was gone, I felt like Hunter actually elevated more women, and now she's the focal point again for the women. So here's the thing. Obviously, this one's going to have a lot of people torn. I have not seen so much negativity towards one person the way that I have seen for Charlotte Flair since she came back at the Royal Rumble. I mean, obviously, Chinedu, I'm posting like press conference videos, I'm posting clips, and I'm posting them all over social media, right? All of the apps, all of the platforms. And I go in and I read the comments, right? And Charlotte's clips, my God, they do good views, of course, but the amount of negativity in her comment section, it is insane. There are a lot of people that are just not having it with Charlotte. I'm a Charlotte Flair fan. I've been a Charlotte Flair fan, and I appreciate the work that she puts in. I do recognize, though, why the fans have been pushing back. And we also saw that, play out on Monday Night Raw, where she was trying to have a little bit of a moment with the audience, talking about the very serious injury that she had. But the audience was like, no. Like, if there was anybody else Chinedu talking about a torn ACL and all of this, people would be like, you know what? Respect. I'm going to clap for you because, pro wrestlers are out there putting their bodies on the line, and I'm going to clap and I'm going to respect that, right? With Charlotte, of course, there were some people that were cheering for her, but the majority of the crowd was booing her. Now, I feel like the bright side in this, for those that like Sheldon, who maybe aren't big fans of Charlotte Flair, the bright side in this is right now, I am hopeful that this is clearly leading to Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair, right? I want to see that match. Charlotte Flair is a great wrestler. I know people are pushing back against her, whatever, but she is still a great wrestler. She can still perform in the ring. So with that being said, I'm still, though, in this place where if Charlotte defeats Tiffany, I fear that the hatred towards Charlotte will get even worse. I do want to see Charlotte, be the one to take the L. I want to see her put over Tiffany Stratton. I want to see Tiffany Stratton be the one to come out victorious and looking like the next big star, right? So we'll see how this plays out. But I'm not as opposed to Charlotte Flair as what it feels like right now. A lot of the fans are. And the other thing, too, is that like usually we do see the negativity like primarily online and it doesn't come out on the screen. But this is one of those rare cases where the negativity that you're seeing online, you're also seeing it on screen.
I, too, am a Charlotte Flair fan. To me, in my perspective, the negativity to me is just more of an indication of how big of a star she is to me, because it's not, in my perspective, it's not like go away heat. To me, it's like, we don't want you to be a heel. It's like, be a bad. We don't want you to be a face so we can cheer you. Be a bad guy so we can cheer you being a bad guy. That's what the audience wants. We enjoy seeing her be a bad guy. That's, to me, what it is with Charlotte Flair. Because, like, being a good guy, we don't feel that's, like, naturally her. And for all we know, it very well could be. But just how we feel as a fan base, we feel she's better as a heel. Her promos are better. Her work is better. Her crowd work is better. Everything is much better when she's the bad guy. And to me, like you said, I'm all for her winning Royal Rumble. I felt she's the best candidate as long as she goes down to Tiffany Stratton. She has to go down to Tiffany time. We have to recognize, although she's a top player, Tiffany is next era. Although, sorry, guys, I was sharing that game. I'm so sorry, guys. We won that game. Went hard in the paint. Someone won the half-court shot at the last game for $1,200. That was a very big deal. It was insane. A person in the crowd also won the Whataburger bucket toss. They won a Whataburger for an entire section, and they won Whataburger for a month. Sorry about that, guys. It was an insane game. Sorry about my voice.
Damn, I'm about to go play right now. I want $1,200 and Whataburger for a month. Damn.
I'm so sorry, guys. Forget my voice, though. But when Charlotte Flair, I feel she's still a top player. She deserves the TV time. I know some folks don't like it, but she's the best. You can go in there and say you hate her all she wants to, but when she gets in that ring, after that match, she gets that standing ovation every time. People did not like her going against Rhea Ripley, but at the end of that match, there was a standing ovation. To me, they had match of the night. Charlotte Flair often does that, and I feel she will do that as well here. And I feel again to a little bit, to be fair, let her be a face a little bit, guys. Come on, let her get a little bit off, just a little bit.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. Charlotte's like a forever heel. She really is a forever heel.
Forever
heel.
You
know what's interesting too, though, is that I remember, God, when was it? I forgot which WrestleMania. One of the WrestleManias, I was interviewing Charlotte, and we were just talking. Like, we weren't even talking about anything serious. We were just talking about, like, silly stuff, right? It's just an interview. And I remember going into the comments for that and everybody being like, why can't Charlotte be like this all the time? Why can't Charlotte be like this all the time? And I feel like when people got a glimpse of her not being I guess the top girl that we're always seeing, right? Like soak me in, I'm Charlotte Flair. When they saw her be just a regular girl, I noticed that people reacted to her differently. So of course, I just think everybody has a different opinion on Charlotte. But here's the thing though, everybody has an opinion about Charlotte. And I think I'd much rather have people have an opinion about me than have no opinion about me, because I'm basically don't matter, So at least she gets a reaction.
Huge reaction. And just me as a Charlotte fan, a request down the line. I feel her and Nia just natural heel heat. The two of them. I hope one day they go on a tag team run, or either Charlotte and Nia or Charlotte and Becky one time as heels, though. I think it'll be great for the business and for the tag division. But for right now, she's right where she belongs, at the forefront of the women's division. She belongs there, guys. I'm sorry.
We got Luis Arturo Mendez here who says, yo, I wasn't expecting Fandango for an NXT. Oh, I can't wait to get into that, because I wasn't expecting Fandango either. Well, I guess we kind of should have, though, because we've been talking about this TNA and WWE partnership for weeks now. And we were expecting, obviously, some TNA people to come in. And it's kind of funny, right? When it's a TNA person, but somebody who's also had a career in the WWE. And there's a lot of those people on the TNA roster like that. And it's kind of funny because it's like, oh, I'm back, here I am, but not under the circumstances that you would imagine. I don't know what that feels like, right, Chin? Because there are some people that, were released, they, whatever, right? Shit went down, whatever happened, everybody has a different story, right? But like, let's say you were somebody that, you were released from the company and then you went off to TNA and now there's this partnership. So now you're back and you're like, I'm here. It's this weird dynamic, right? Like, hey, you didn't want me, but here I am.
Yeah, look, I'm waiting for that for Nick Nemeth. All right, I want that, because we all were thinking that. How is he, if he does come back? Because I thought he was going to make the Rumble. Will he come back and address Dolph Ziggler? Will we hear, I'm here to show, they hear like a rip, and he comes out like he used to last time? I wonder what it's going to be, because he's on the list. He has to debut eventually on here. There's no way he can't.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll circle back to this in a second, but we got Saif Dan Super here who says Jey Uso was a long shot to win the Royal Rumble. A 100 bet on Jay would have won 6,600. It's amazing how in just 2 years, Oba is much better wrestler than the three guys. Okay, so there's a lot in here, but first of all, wow, if anybody got some money on Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble, great for them. You deserve it. I wish I would have put down some money, but then maybe not, because in hindsight I can say that, but I don't think I would have put my money on Jey Uso had I placed a bet. So I would have lost money. Oh, like, what a loser. You lost your money, girl. But okay, so, and then, yes, Oba has been like drastically improved. I can't wait to talk about his main event performance here tonight. We got Heidi Ho here who says, I was legit concerned when Stephanie was in that parking lot. Yeah, because everybody be getting killed in that NXT parking lot. But there was a nice tease that went down in that little promo while Stephanie was addressing her upcoming match with Fallon Henley. And it was Lola Vice, right? Who came up behind her and was just kind of like sort of dogging her a little bit, right? Like looking at her all nasty Chinedu. She was looking at her all nasty. And I'm like, okay.
What a nasty stare.
Yes, oh, nasty. Marino says, can Roxane and Bayley move their feud to Raw so Giulia will stop feeling like a third wheel in someone else's feud? Yeah, it does sort of feel like that with Giulia. Giulia doesn't feel, I don't feel like they have presented Giulia as a Obviously, when you are NXT champion, whether you're NXT champion for the men or for the women, you are on a pedestal, right? You are just presented a lot better. The spotlight, it's on you, and everything is about you. Giulia is a part of this, and she has the most important thing, which is the NXT Women's Championship. But this does not feel like it's about Giulia. And we'll break that down more in a second. We got Christopher Marino, who also says, also, why is Cora standing tall with the title and Charlotte looking at her and not Giulia? Was dumb AF. Talking once again about this not necessarily being about Giulia. We got Terrence Johnson, who says, if Cora didn't get injured, do you think she would have already been NXT champion? Yes, mind you, she was gone 2 different times for a big lengthy period, so I do think she could have been NXT Women's Champion by now. We got a very generous super chat though from John Taylor. John, thank you so much for your generosity. John says, just stopping in real quick to show appreciation to Chinedu, and I guess Denise too. I don't really watch NXT, but I appreciate the work you two put in on Tuesday nights. John, you rock. Thank you so much, dude, for always being so supportive and for coming in on the NXT post show. Even if you don't watch NXT, don't worry. We'll fill you in. We'll let you know what is actually happening on the show. Thank you so much to John Taylor.
Yes,
all right, so let's get into this, and then I'll catch up with everything else. So let's start with that segment where we were talking about Giulia sort of being a little bit on the third wheel side of things. But we had this Vengeance Day summit, because Vengeance Day, we are going to be seeing a triple threat match. Roxane Perez, Bayley, and Giulia for the NXT Women's Championship, which, to be honest, like, even seeing that match graphic, Chinedu, just the match graphic alone, I look at that and I'm like, wow, this feels like super random. Like, we would have never put this match together like 3 months ago, Chinedu, when you and I and everybody here in the chat are constantly fantasy booking. We would have never fantasy booked this with Bayley obviously included. Of course, we've seen Roxane and Giulia, sure, but not with Bayley also involved. And there's a lot that went into this. So first and foremost, Roxane Perez was in the Royal Rumble for over an hour. It was like an hour and one and change. I forget the exact number, but she was in there for a very long time. She went out there and told Bayley, like, I broke your record. I have now been in the Women's Royal Rumble longer than anybody else. And I thought that was a really awesome way to continue to further their feud that they've already done, where it's like, I beat your record in this big matchup. And then she's kind of talking about how she's putting herself over for having made it as far as she did, making it to the very end. But Bayley is shutting her up, telling her that she's not who she thinks she is. And of course, we kind of get this back and forth. Giulia finally goes out there and tries to put an end to this bickering between Bayley and Roxane, but she doesn't really get to say much. She pretty much tells him, like, hey, I'm going to take you down, and I'm going to take you down in this Vengeance Day match. Before she gets like one sentence out, and Charlotte Flair's music hits, and Charlotte comes out, and she's just like, hey, I'm better than everybody. I'm here, and I'm better than you. And hey, remember when I won the Royal Rumble the last time, and then I also defeated the NXT Women's Champion, and maybe I can do the exact same thing here today. Now, that was also kind of cut pretty short too, because quickly thereafter, Cora Jade comes out from behind and attacks every single woman in the ring with the kendo stick. She takes out Bayley, she takes out Giulia, she takes out Roxane, and the entire time, Charlotte Flair is watching this unfold, and she's sort of I'm going to guess maybe impressed, I assume, by Cora Jade. But we are going to be getting Cora Jade versus Bayley next week, because Bayley was pissed and she demanded it. So there's a lot here to break down, Chinedu. Start wherever you please.
I'll start at the very top. This was one of Roxane Perez's best heel promos that she's ever cut. This was one of the very best. And you could tell she went into it wanting to make sure she nailed it with Bayley, because this is something we've wanted to see for a long time. It's such history too. She brought up 13-year-old Roxane Perez. She really went into the bag of her history, and I felt like she really shot from the hip and the heart. Like, she really told a compelling story. We know in real life that she loves Bayley and all that though, but on camera, who the character is, how she's interacted with other stars like Natalya and CM Punk, It's been on brand for who she is. And I feel like she would be one of the people who has the exact same character on the main roster because she's built up so much development with it. And I was just so proud of her character work here. It was just really amazing. I love Bayley on here. You can tell that Bayley in real life is happy to give back to the NXT roster, happy to be on there, get other people over. You can tell through that, though. I love their chemistry. I do agree that this should not involve Giulia. Honestly, right now, the NXT Women's Championship, in my opinion, I feel this should be just between these two. I feel Giulia really should be feuding with a Nikita Lyon right now. You know, a powerhouse kind of girl, have a good match, but still win. What, like, because she's not doing anything right now. Have her over there right now because it doesn't need her in it. Because I feel like it's so much good storytelling that can be told between just these two, and you don't want to add Giulia in to convolute it for no reason. There really isn't a reason to include her in it yet. Roxane Perez was champion for a long time already. I don't need to see Bayley with the NXT Women's title, in my opinion. I need to see those two go at it, have a great feud, and Giulia have a great match with, I don't know, Nikita Lyon. Hey, where's the hell? I don't know. Something like that. You know what I mean? Like, hey, let's do that, you know, in my opinion. But I love Charlotte there. Charlotte's a star again. Everything I said about Charlotte earlier, I feel this way now. Cora Jade, I do feel, like a Super Chat said, I do feel she was gone for about 2 years. So I feel like she would have been for sure women's champion by now. I feel like she probably would have been on SmackDown by now had she not been injured because I feel like she would have had her time, been called up. But right now, I love who she is. I'm happy she's not friends with Roxane no more because everyone for themselves. This makes the women's championship seem more valuable because friendships are not important right now. That belt is, and I love that so much.
There's so much to dive into here, man, because, and first of all, you brought up a lot of really good points because you're right. This doesn't necessarily need Giulia per se, but I mean, it's hard, right? Because I said earlier, yeah, you don't need her in this particular story, but she is the NXT Women's Champion. And at the end of the day, what Roxane wants is her championship back. I mean, Bayley said it herself. She told Roxane, hey, if I don't win at, I think she said, you know, did she say, I think she said Elimination Chamber. I don't know if she was talking about Elimination Chamber or Vengeance Day. She said Vengeance Day, right?
Yeah, Vengeance Day.
Yeah, okay. Just, I was a little confused there for a second. But no, she had said like, hey, if I don't win, I'll be fine. I'll move on. But what about you? And so I actually kind of thought like, well, I get what she's saying, like where Roxane Perez wouldn't be able to move on because that bout was everything to her. But then that also makes me want to root for Roxane a little bit harder because I'm thinking to myself, she clearly really cares about being NXT Women's Champion. Like this belt is her identity. This belt is who she is. This is what she works for. And Chin, as a crazy psycho person myself who really wants certain things, I side with Roxane Perez. I'm just like, you know what, girl? Yes, I 100% get it. That's what you want. So now you're going to do everything in your power to try to get it back. But you're right on her also cutting this really fantastic heel promo because here's the thing. Yes, she was bragging, but the things Roxane was bragging about made her look even better. I would be bragging about those things. Lasting so long in the Rumble, making it all the way towards the end, beating Bayley's record. All of those things are things to brag about. So I really liked the promo that Roxane cut. I still feel like Roxane, it still feels like the top girl on NXT. I think that the thing that I'm also excited about is that we've been talking a whole lot about whether or not Roxane's going to go to Raw or SmackDown, right? And we were saying like, oh, there are still some things that she still needs to kind of finish off before she moves on. And the big thing was Cora Jade. I think the Cora Jade feud was kind of like the last thing that she needed to check off before she went off the main roster. And now with the Cora Jade attack, we're getting closer and closer to Roxane Perez basically checking that off before she moves on to the main roster. So that's got me really, really excited about that. But here's the person's name that I have to mention, though. Jordynne Grace. So Jordynne Grace, as we all know, is officially part of WWE. She's a WWE superstar. She was in the Royal Rumble. And Jordynne Grace was eliminated by Giulia. But then it was Roxane who eliminated Jordynne, right? Yeah, okay. I don't want to forget that.
Wait. No,
it was Roxane who eliminated Giulia. Excuse me. Yeah.
Giulia.
Roxane eliminated Giulia. Giulia had eliminated Jordan. That's what it was. Okay. So what I'm saying is that now, when I saw that, I was a little bit disappointed. And I said this in my Royal Rumble review. I was disappointed because I wanted to see Jordynne Grace go to Raw, go to SmackDown. Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see her go to the main roster. I feel she's needed there a whole lot more. I feel like she already did everything she needed to do over on NXT. We got a surplus of women on NXT, right? But now that we know she's clearly going to be doing some time in NXT, she now plays a big role into this. I want to see Jordynne Grace be the one to take the belt off of Giulia. I don't know if it would be considered too soon, or maybe I'm asking for too much, but I just feel like that would be very, very exciting to see. And I think Jordynne Grace is going to play a big role in whatever. Once we're done with what we're seeing right now is with Roxane and Giulia, I do think we're going to move into Giulia and to Jordynne Grace. And then I'm assuming we're going to finish off Roxane and Cora and then see Roxane go off to the main roster. That's just my predictions of what's going to happen in the next few months.
I can definitely agree that with seeing that kind of course happening, though, just because right now I feel we're going into almost a month of Giulia being champion, and we still haven't seen any real motion yet. So I don't know what they have planned. Hopefully something great, but seeing Jordynne Grace as champion would be very exciting because, but although like I agree with you said too, I was hoping to see her on Raw, SmackDown. Like I feel she's already been on NXT, but I mean, if she's there, give her the belt then. Don't just have her there to be there. She needs to be champion and then call her up, though. I definitely agree.
All right, we got a couple more super chats. Let me get ahead and get right into these. We got Jay Stone who says, I would love it if they gave Charlotte a stable, grab Kiana James, call up Jacy and Fallon. They could be the queens and minions. Also, the idea of a Charlotte-Giulia match moves me. Oh, yeah, I'm here for that, too. I would love to see Charlotte versus Giulia. But I don't know. I don't know if they're actually going to do it, like pull through with it. Because it's one of those situations where I don't think Giulia defeats Charlotte. Like, it's not going to happen. And do you want to see your NXT Women's Champion get defeated right now by Charlotte when Giulia's reign has kind of just, it just got started, but it hasn't lit the world on fire? Would you want to see a stable for Charlotte, Chin?
I got to be honest. It could be fun. But right now, where Charlotte is, I want her on a solo run. If anything, what I really want from Charlotte is a heel tag team run with a Nia Jax or a Becky Lynch, in my opinion. Although I do think it would be fun on some good promos, though. But I feel that's where I would more so lean to in terms of like a grouping of Charlotte, right? Because she's such a solo star. She's a solo star.
Hey, listen, I will be in Charlotte's stable if I can hang out in her closet for like 5 to 10 minutes. Chin, I love the way that Charlotte dresses. I am like, every single time I see her post on social media, every time I see her come out on TV or whatever it is that she's doing, I'm like dying at the stuff that she's wearing all the time. It's my favorite thing about Charlotte is her clothes.
I will agree with you. Her and Andrade. Like Andrade's suit game. That's what I was saying. Like Andrade knows how to dress like a for real star, in my opinion. Like a top star who's a champion, well-tailored suits, hair's always like in good condition, beard's always trimmed up. Like they look a for real superstar couple.
I will take Charlotte's hand-me-downs. I'm not above that. I will definitely take them. Would you take Andrade's hand-me-downs?
Listen, you sure? What? Absolutely. I mean, Armani suits. We out there. I'm wearing an Armani suit. Denise got on our old nasty Versace gown. Man, what are you talking about? We light it up.
Yes, exactly. Can you imagine? Okay, like, you know how Charlotte came out in that, like, when was it? I think it was on Raw. When did she wear that pinstripe suit? Like that really, really like big, bulky pinstripe suit. Whatever. She wore it somewhere. Can you imagine me in a big, bulky pinstripe suit? Like, talk about money.
I'm talking big boss energy. I'm telling you, like she dresses like she runs it, and I love it.
I'm practicing my Charlotte Flair.
Peggy's my Andrade. Here's that smolder Andrade.
And yes, guys, I know that they divorced, but they still dress very, very well with or without each other. Yeah, you didn't know. It happened, I think, was announced yesterday, but I think it was yesterday or the day before TMZ broke that news.
I did not know.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Well, I
well,
mean, they still dress nice, whether or not they're
yeah,
divorced or together.
yeah, they dress great, man.
JM Malagrito says JDC on NXT is one step away from Moose versus Oba Femi. Well, hey, now we have been waiting for these matches, and we are definitely one step closer. We'll get to that in a second. We got Heidi Ho here who says that Bayley and Ava segment was hilarious. Yeah, Bayley was like, I want that bitch. Ava's like, which one? Well,
Which
it's
one?
like hey, it's true. Which one? If I was Ava, I'd be like, who are you talking about exactly?
Can I be real here? Like, I know some folks aren't fans of Ava. I love Ava on NXT. I feel she's a great general manager. I feel she's a great person for the job. And I love how she
She's
interacts with
gotten
everybody,
better.
man. She's gotten so much better. Go watch her in the schism and watch her now. Listen,
Yes.
leaps and bounds better.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yes.
I was thinking it and you said it. Ryan Adams says Kelani with a neck crank submission. Let's effing go. Oh, we'll get to Kelani in a second because Chinedu's dream is coming true. We got Christopher Marino here who says, you are making my point. They have made Giulia feel like a third wheel. You already want her to lose the belt. Well, I'm not saying she could lose it next week, but once Jordan Grace gets in there, I want to get to the business, get to the business of that. But it's true though. They haven't made, unfortunately, her feel like she's on top of the world. So we'll see. Maybe they'll shift that around, maybe put a little bit more of a spotlight on her just so that she can feel like a champion. Christopher Marino, thank you so much for the super chat here. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the other thing that was the most super chatted thing so far. And that, my friends, is the fact that we had Lexis King. He went out there and cut this promo, which, look, the promo was a little bit all over the place. But the promo is not really the big thing to talk about here, although he did make an announcement in his promo that I don't want to pass up on mentioning, and because this was actually very, very important. He said that the European rules for the Heritage Cup are done. And when he said that, I was like, hallelujah, here we go. Finally, a bright side, because everybody that's tuned into my NXT post show now for however long has been watching, you guys know I hate the Heritage Cup matches with a passion. All right. I've tried, and there's times where I do slightly get into it, but I'm forcing myself to get into it. Anyway, so the rules are apparently going to be changing. Apparently they're done. And I could not be more thrilled about that. But I didn't have a second to even like rejoice in that announcement, right? It's now no more rounds, of course. One fall, winner takes all. And finally, we were interrupted by none other than Fandango. Dude, so Fandango has been spending his time with TNA Wrestling. He's been down there. JDC has been part of the system. And he comes out there in the Fandango song, which was definitely the best way to do it so that he could get a nice reaction because the people would recognize that theme and get excited about. But he comes down and he's like, hey, I'm JDC. I'm in TNA, blah, 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 blah. And he confronts Alexis King. And I love this because the first thing that he did was make fun of Lexis for having his face spray painted on him the day of. And look at me, Chin. I got a shiny forehead, all right? I got a messy butt. Lexis King has an even shinier forehead and an even more, actually really like his bun. That's like the one thing I actually really did like. I loved his bun. Shout out to whoever did his bun. It was a really, really great one. But the beard and the other stuff, it's a little too much for me. It's been too much for me, but it was very funny though.
I can
back and forth.
Yeah, I can wholeheartedly understand. The beard it's gotten much. It looks very Sharpie like at this point now. Like, I love Lexis King. I'm a big fan of them ditching the European rules too, because this was when they said Heritage Cup rules, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get some big sleep right now. Go ahead, go use the bathroom, get some snacks, something. I'm glad it's one fall. Fandango coming out was amazing because Fandango was always a favorite of mine. He made me laugh. He's very entertaining. Him and Tyler Breeze. I really wish their tag team could have been called for Breeze at one point, but I understand why they couldn't. I get it. I thought it would have been perfect, but sure. But him coming out, the new name, I'm gonna be real. I ain't give two shits about it. You're Fandango to me, bro. I'm sorry. I know I get all the TNA stuff. I'm one of those fans. I don't give a shit about no TNA. You are Dolph Ziggler, okay? I don't care. You're Dolph Ziggler.
Wait, anybody that you see that was previously in WWE, you want to see them with their WWE persona versus their TNA persona?
Yep. I never called Naomi Trinity Fatu. I never did. Naomi. And I know that's her real name. That's the crazy part. I know that's her real name.
But here's the thing, though, is that to me, I do prefer them coming out as their TNA version. And I get it, right? Fandango was a very, very gimmicky character, right? And very, very funny and outlandish and all of that. But to me, this is a new era. This is a new time period, Chin. Like, we can't go back to the same things. Like, right now, we're excited about this TNA WWE partnership because, you know, we're constantly talking about how we need more men on the NXT roster. This scene, the serious version of Fandango, JDC, this to me was very, very appealing. I felt like I was excited to see him involved in the story. It made me excited about seeing this match with him and Lexis King, which in turn made me excited about seeing a Lexis King match just because I knew that it would be with JDC, which is just totally different. And now, of course, as someone just mentioned here in the super chats, JM Malagrito here when he says JDC on NXT, we are one step away from Moose versus Oba Femi. Since the second this was announced, we've been sitting here coming up with dream matches for WWE and TNA guys, and now we have begun. They have started. I mean, it's been very slow, but they're starting. They're getting the ball rolling with that. And this is already making a world's difference because who else would Lexis King be wrestling for that Heritage Cup? Honestly, who else?
That really is the truth, Denise. And all joking aside, you gave the perfect read to this. I love Fandango as a funny character, though, but we know beneath that person, all jokes aside, is a serious competitor. And I'm very happy he's getting the chance to show that guy that we should have seen about 12 years ago on WWE television. Unfortunately, he only could use the fashion files to get over, though. But there's a killer and a wrestler on there. I'm happy we get to see this person now. I do hope the same for other stars as well, too. And it's real super chat. And, ultimately, I've been wanting Moose in here for a long time. So I do hope we get to have him come out here. I look forward to seeing a serious JDC. And to be honest, I know he's not with TNA right now. I do hope that if it's NXT or wherever, that this also can be a weight back in for Matt Cardona, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. And Matt Cardona is an interesting one. Obviously, he's been here on the channel as a guest a couple of times on interviews and whatnot. He's definitely somebody where I'm like, why isn't they like, come on, like somebody grab them, use them, and use them. I don't know what to say. Like he's there, he's available. Whether it's
wife's right there. Like,
right, exactly. And so, yes, I do think Matt Cardona is somebody that we would want to see. And I think the fans would be happy for him to come back. But anyways, all right, let's keep it moving because there were some other bits that we still got to get into with NXT. I want to go ahead and rewind to the top of the show because we had Stephanie Vaquer defeat Jacy Jayne. And the big thing that I really wanted to get at with this particular matchup, so of course Stephanie's going to go on to face Fallon Henley. We know that. But dude, I really feel like Stephanie is getting over with this NXT crowd. And here's the thing. They haven't even had her do anything too crazy. She hasn't gone out there and like cut no 20-minute promo, right? She's not doing that. She's just going out there and wrestling. That's it. Little bits here and there where she'll get interviewed backstage or whatever, but nothing too crazy, right? But the fans, though, they're intrigued. They're reacting to her. They were so into this match with her and Jacy. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I could, but at the same time, I couldn't because it was just like, oh my God, like that's really awesome to see that the fans are connecting with Stephanie. And to me, given that they haven't had her do so much, but that she's already getting these kinds of reactions, tells me that when they do have her do a little bit more, which I am hoping she does win the NXT North American Women's Championship, I do hope that that is when things will like really take off for her. But I'm really just, I guess I'm just happy. I'm just happy for her that she's getting this opportunity and that the people are reacting to her.
They sure are in a very big way. At first, I wasn't a fan of them removing her from the women's title picture. I felt like she should have been in there. I felt like it should have been reversed initially. I felt like Giulia should have been in the North American division and, Stephanie at the top. But I like this. I like the way they're going with this. The crowd is behind her so much. And I got to say again, Booker T's commentary for that move is just, when I tell you something, hey, Booker, listen, man, hey.
Or how does he do it? Yeah, it's more of that. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't have the right inflection. I got to sound a little hornier when I do it. It's true. Is it not true? Am I lying here? Booker T is like volume all the way turned up when Stephanie does that move.
Yeah. I was like, Book, Uncle Book, come on, man. Listen, you were hilarious on here, man. But look, I don't know how long they're going to let you do that, man. I think Sean will be like, hey, man, listen, man, look, I watched them Slave Day back. You can't do that no more, man. What do you mean? Listen, you can't do it no more, man. All right? The sponsors and things like that. But, I love Booker, but that part sticks. I'd be like, Booker, man, I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if you should be doing that, Booker.
It was funny because, like, the first time I heard him do it, I was like, what the fuck? And then the second time, I'm like, the second time, I was a little uncomfortable by it. And then the third time was a mixture of what the F and also uncomfortableness. And then the next time after that, because he's been doing it for a while, the next time after that, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna be just like laughing at the absurd, like it's just so absurd. Like it's now a bit. Like now that I recognize it's a bit, I can like laugh a little harder about it because it's just so random, like how it just started. It's just a sound effect. Like, think about it. Can you imagine, Chin? Just think about it like this, all right? And everybody here, imagine it. If anybody here, me, you, anybody here in the chat, Zeno Hour, Terrence, Awkward Meow, Daryl, Sterling, Carlton, whoever, if you were going up for an audition to do commentary for the WWE, everybody here going into their audition would be like studying really hard, making sure making sure that you know all the moves, making sure you got a really good vocabulary, making sure that you can say all the right things to get people to like you and to like your commentary and have the right tone and everything, right? To find out, nobody here would go out there and watch a match and commentate saying, Nobody would ever do that. So it's super freaking random, but it kind of works. It only works for Booker T is what I'm saying. That's it. It's the only person it works for.
Right there, spot on. This can only work for Booker T. Nobody else. Gorilla Monsoon would not. Come here, man. Hey, what the hell, man? What was that? No, just Booker. And I feel too that sometimes the audience might not even know what he's talking about. Sometimes too, they feel because like they just I don't know. I feel only he could do it. Only him. That's it. But but I digress. Stephanie is over. I look forward to her being a North American champion. I hope it's not for too long because I want her at the top. I really do. I feel like she deserves it. She's great. She's awesome, and she's so over the crowd. I was watching the match at the game, and like some of the people were walking over. One of the athletic trainers, she walked over. She was like, "Who is that girl right there? She is gorgeous." Like, it's almost Stephanie.
Oh, is there just talking about Stephanie?
Yeah, she was like, "Who? That girl is gorgeous." She didn't even know anything about wrestling, but she was like, "That girl is gorgeous." And she was like watching. Oh my god, yeah.
Wow, I love that. I love that. All right. Oh, we got some super chats here. Let's see what people are saying. All right, where am I at? All right, this is from Corey MacArthur. He says, hello, Denise and Chinedu. Lexus King beard is razor Beijing sharp. I know Chinedu knows what I'm talking about. LOL, not a fan. All right, you're gonna have to explain this. Was I offensive?
No, that was hilarious, man. You know, some folks they go in there, they get the little spray on like that. They little implant things in it, like they try to fake a beard. This could be a fake beard,
Implants?
too. That
You
is
can get
hilarious.
beard implants?
Dudes be doing that. Along with the hair, whatever. Dudes be going like they getting little follicle things in there. It'd be like I don't know if it's like paint, whatever. But they'll get it like put in there and have like a little like shadow scruff mock beard like that. Some guys get the lace front beard, they have it glued on, and then they just like edge it up that way. It's insane. This stuff is dirty work, Denise. Look at her face, y'all. That is what it should be when you see these fake beards. That's true deception.
Yeah. Well, because here's the thing, like I'm a beard girl, right? I like a man with a good beard. But like imagine you're like getting into it, you're in the mood and you like rub your hands through his beard, and then all of a sudden your hands get stuck in there because there's some crazy glue and who knows what plugs are being put in there. I don't know how it works, but it just sounds a little dramatic. Feels
It
like
would
it
be the
would ruin the
worst.
moment.
It would like imagine pulling his beard off, and not only does he not have a beard, but he has like the little booty chin thing. That is the worst. That would destroy the whole mood. I remember the booty chin back in
Yeah.
the gap.
I feel like, Phil, I don't know you anymore. Gross. No, I knew guys did like the plugs up here, but I didn't know you could do them for your face.
Oh yeah, they be doing it. For me, I'm great. Thankful I have a beard. Once I saw the hairline going, I kept it up a little bit though. When it started to LeBron too hard, I was like, let me go ahead and get rid of this, man. That's why I shave it on off, man. Just keep the beard going. It's just a weird world. I had a good time. I had braids, had waves. I had an S curl at one point. I lived. So it's all let go.
Well, at least you can say you lived once, Chinedu. And good thing you're married with children, so you're good.
Yes, my baby like it. That's all that matter.
I've done super says, sorry, I'm against bringing in Cardona and Moose. It's really It's really time to start giving these new guys the ball. Both companies employ 40-year-olds. Well, here's the thing, like to me, it's more so about like the talent. Like if you still got the talent, regardless of your age, if you can still go, if you can still get people feeling a sort of way, whether it's with your wrestling or with your promo, I'm still here for it, man. I think Moose is a great wrestler. I think Cardona is very, very talented, like not just, of course, not just in the ring, but personality wise. And I do think that they can contribute. And of course, I'm not saying like, oh, you only focus on, for example, if Moose were to come in, you only focus on Moose. No, of course not. But if anything, he would be complementing and adding to Oba Femi's reign if we were to see like a Moose Oba Femi match.
Yeah, I will agree.
Thank you so much, Saif. We got the Champ 39 who says the friendship is over. It's time for NXT Mean Girl to have her spotlight. She deserves it. It's so funny how we're talking about Giulia, we're talking about Jordan, we're talking about Cora. Like there's a lot of people that are, in line maybe for this NXT Women's Championship. And granted, we just got a brand new Women's Champion. But yes, I do think Cora has a fan base, a really strong fan base that really wants to see her cash in and have this moment and finally become NXT Women's Champion, especially because she's been there for for a while. We got Steven Marchuli here who says Stephanie Vaquer is a total badass. Miz for NXT run. Oh, yeah, no. I mean, I can see the Miz coming in, having some fun with certain guys. Like, imagine Miz and Lexus King. Like, they could probably go and do something fun there, maybe. But I don't know. I kind of feel like for like a one-off, sure.
I agree. A one-off only. Like, Miz should be where he's at right now. No.
Stephen Marchuli, thank you so much. And I do agree with you. Stephanie Vaquer is a total badass. All right. So with that being said, let's keep it moving. Let's fast forward to your girl, Kelani, because I was very excited to get your thoughts on this. So she had a match against Karmen Petrovic in which she won, but then because she kept attacking Karmen Petrovic, the referee ended up reversing the decision, which, by the way, I do hate when that happens. I don't like when they make the reverses of the decisions. I'm not a fan of that because I'm like, if she won the match, she won the match. If her behavior afterwards was ungodly, then you punish her for her behavior afterwards. You don't reverse the decision of the match, because that's the match. So I don't love that part of it. But anyways, Jada Parker was there doing commentary, and she was like laughing at the rise and fall of Kelani Jordan turning into this to this new mean girl Kelani. She is wearing darker makeup. She got the purple lip and Chinedu, you saw this coming from like miles and miles away. I'm starting to think you're the one who inspired the idea.
Listen, I am a huge fan of this. What was the name of the villain in Little Mermaid? What was her name?
Ursula?
Ursula, yes. Let me tell you something. She came out here with a good, once again, nasty. Purple lip giving big Ursula energy. I'm new to the villain club energy. I loved it. She started off so aggressive in that match. She stayed there the whole time. And I loved, and I agree too. Don't reverse the match, though, because all you're going to do is get Karmen's ass whipped even more. That's all it's going to do, because now she's mad. So I love it. I love a collision course between Kelani and Jordan and Jada Parker. I'm excited about that. I just love the character shift, though, because I feel she needs it. She can only be the white meets babyface girl for so long. And I feel like she has so much venom and so much anger she can really give out. And I don't need her to come out like dressed like real skimpy. Like, you know how sometimes they have that girl do like, no, she'll need to get. Let her come out in like a crazy cool jumpsuit. You know what I'm saying? Some Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation type vibe. Come out looking bad. You know what I'm saying? Looking good. Little HBK in the 90s vibe like that. Cut some good promos. And I think she'll be great. But I truly love this direction of Kelani. I'm a huge fan of a heel Kelani. I truly am.
I know. Every time, like the second that I started to see it, I'm like, oh yeah, this was for Chin.
Yeah.
Like, this is his thing. So I'm gonna let you enjoy Kalani's heel turn. We'll soak it in every week. But with that being said, let's get to the main event of the night, because we had Grayson Waller and Austin Theory defeat Trick Williams and your NXT champion Oba Femi. However, there was kind of a lot that went down with this here. And so first of all, of course, Trick Williams and Oba Femi, they were not coexisting. They were both trying to one-up each other. Trick Williams kept tagging himself in whenever it was Oba Femi's turn. Oba Femi did have several moments in this match, though, where I just thought, dude, I'm loving this, because at one point he was a beast. At one point, it was literally just him manhandling both Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. And that ended up being my favorite part of the match. Like when Oba was throwing them around, everything that he was doing, that was my absolute favorite part of the match. Unfortunately, we had Eddie Thorpe come out with a strap, and I kind of forgot that Eddie Thorpe was like a thing on the show. And maybe it's because I didn't watch it last week and I have short-term memory. But when he came out, I was like, oh yeah, huh? They're still doing that. Oh yeah, the strap. It all came back to me, Chin. All of it. Poor Chin. I have this.
Oh, Denise.
Officially broke Chinedu.
Oh, Denise, that is the funniest, because that is the exact same thing I thought.
Oh, good. I wasn't the only one. Okay.
I was like, oh yeah. I forgot. Oh, yeah, that's
It's because we're not. I don't know how many people are, and if you do, if you are interested in the Eddie Thorpe stuff, please take the time to put it over in the comments. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for any of it. But truth be told, I don't think that the people are too crazy about it. Like, the people are excited about Oba Femi and Trick, right? Because you're a fan of both guys. Like, you're a fan of Oba, you're a fan of Trick for different reasons, right? And it's exciting. You're like, shit, these are two guys that I like, who am I going to root for? I'm a little, torn here between them. But then Eddie Thorpe gets involved, and you're just like, oh, I don't know how else to say it. Okay. See, nobody's like coming to his defense. I can't stand Eddie Thorpe, but he's more tolerable than Ridge Holland and Sean Spears. I don't know what is happening where there's a lot of guys on NXT. It's like there's no, so usually there's this spectrum, right? There's the I like somebody, which is the I really love somebody, I like somebody, I'm a fan, which is the one side of the spectrum. And then the other side, it's the I hate this person, I can't stand this person, right? Usually there's some people that kind of float around in the middle of that, like I like them sometimes, blah, 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 blah. But I feel like when it comes to a lot of the people on NXT, especially the guys, you're either on one end of the spectrum or you're on the other. You either love this person or you flat out do not care about this person. I don't see like we see a lot of people floating in between. I feel like everybody is sort of you're either a fan of them or you're not.
Yep. I'm
gonna say you're crying.
Listen, I am I've been trying to de-sweat, man. I enjoyed this. Has been a great laugh for me, man. When I tell you that was my exact train of thought with Eddie Thorpe, Denise. Verbatim. I was the strap. Oh. Oh my God. This was a great main event. I love how they built the characters of Trick Williams and Oba. I love how they have Rock Austin energy. I'm not saying that they're the Rock Austin though, but I like how although they're both fan favorites, just because we're fan favorites does not mean we're friends. That's what I like about it too. It's like Oba Femi is like, we're not friends. What do we have in common? That we're both black. That's it, y'all. That's it. Nothing else. So I like how they have nothing. They're not friends. And it's like, it's straight competition. To me, those two are making the NXT championship feel like it's worth a lot. Because like Trick Williams, he looks like he's beside himself because he has to see that talent on somebody else. Like when Oba came out, he was staring at Oba like he was the opponent. And I was like, I really gave me the energy of the cliche question, can they coexist? That made me excited to see if they could. And again, I do want to see them go at it though, but I realize that Oba Femi is tied up right now with A-Town Down Under. He's in a feud with those two. So Trick Williams has to do something. I wasn't expecting Eddie Thorpe, but
like, and we're gonna get a swab on the bright side. We can get a strap match, and maybe it'll be hopefully it'll be entertaining, right? Like we'll probably get a strap match with him and Trick Williams, since that's what he did. He just came out and just started like whipping Trick. That's all he did. Oh my gosh! I just realized like the reason why they're doing this, whoop that Trick, and he gets out there and he's whipping Trick.
Is that why?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, low key. I mean, that's low key kind of bars, but at the same time, because it's Eddie Thorpe doing it, like
It's like, oh, we need some ideas for Trick Williams. Trick Williams, whoop that Trick. All right, we're gonna start getting someone to come out here, legit start whooping him.
That's it. I was like, okay, all right, let's do it. Eddie was like, can I get? I mean, does this mean I'll be on TV? Yeah, all right, I'll do it. No problem. Let's do it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Let's see. We got some more people sending in some comments about this, by the way. We got James here who says, I feel like NXT puts these guys like Sean, Eddie, and Ridge just so we have an indifference in them to make them seem more interested when in reality they're not. Yeah, I know. Damn. Oh no. Dan Jackson says not during Black History Month. I didn't even think about that. Yo. Oh, God. Yo. Hey, I mean, I don't think they were thinking about it like that, but,
And they whipped this boy.
Oh,
on the first NXT of Black History Month.
Yeah, it is the first NXT of Black History Month. Oh, no.
Uncle Sean, what's going on, man? What is? Did you know? I feel because listen, Sean had to know, right? Because I feel because Sean, this is a black show. I feel Sean either has black friends or he goes to a black barbershop. One of those two. But Uncle Sean, come on, man. We gotta do better next time.
Oh man, I can't even. That is hilarious in this terrible, terrible, horrible way. Oh my god. All right. Well, with that being said, we got some other items on the show. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah. We got Soruka and Zarya defeating Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley. Really things I want to say about this is primarily just that I feel like what I thought the presentation of Zarya was going to be when she came into NXT, it's not what it's been. She's just been out there like any regular girl. I thought they were going to present Zarya like female Oba Femi.
Me too. I thought she was going to be a monster-like figure that doesn't talk much, but I feel like they're giving her like this random like Gail Kim-like treatment. Remember when Gail Kim came in and won the women's title her first night, and then after that, next you know, she's just in a random tag match with like the Bellas, something like that.
Oh,
like
yes,
that.
yes.
And they still just smile all the time. It's like she was a killer. Like her whole character looks like she's a killer, and she's coming out so soft spoken and like backstage kind of sassy segments. No, she's an ass kicker. She shouldn't be anything like this, in my opinion. So it's kind of weird. I don't know.
She needs to be presented as scarier, like come across just like darker and meaner. Maybe she doesn't talk that much, and anybody looks at her, she just gives them the look or something, like just more smaller movements, smaller gestures, more serious is I think what I was expecting from Zarya. I don't know that this was the version that I was expecting from her, from her character. So I don't know. I just feel like you have an opportunity to make a really scary woman on your brands. Like, why not go for it? Go for it. Like, she should be this big, scary threat that is, while we're all focusing on the Giulias of the world and Stephanie's and Roxanne's and Cora, while we're focusing on that, you got mean, scary Zarya, building herself up in the shadows, getting wins, killing girls, knocking them out. And to the point where you finally, once we're all done with the stories you're telling, when you finally get to that moment of Zarya finally going for that NXT Women's Championship, all of a sudden we're like, oh, dang, she's going to go up against Zarya? That's the presentation that I thought we were going to get from Zarya, but that doesn't seem like that's what they're doing, at least not right now. But maybe that'll change. Who knows? The other last thing we got to get into, which I'm sure is Chinedu's favorite, Ridge Holland defeating Channing Stacks Lorenzo. There's not that much to say about this, but actually there is something. It seems like they might be, I don't know if I read this wrong or not, but it seems like the D'Angelo family is kind of going through some rockiness here. Tony D'Angelo looked very disappointing in Channing Stacks Lorenzo when he lost this match. That was really the big thing that I got from this. Maybe the family is maybe they're gonna fall apart soon.
I definitely think so. I want to say, first of all, congrats to Tony D on being featured on this. Was it called Wild Cards? Congrats on being featured on
that looked great, by the way. That looked really great.
It did. It looked really good. I'm happy for him. I just gotta say again, I hate the character. Like when I see him in a suit in 2025 in that backstage area, it's like you're watching like a character from 2K in real life, interacting. Like it doesn't look, because that's not how he dresses in real life. So I feel like I want him to be whoever he is in real life. That's what I want him to be, though. But I do love the divide. I think it's time for the family to go about their own ways. I feel like they've done as much as they can together. I want to see Stacks on his own, potentially a Stacks versus Tony D feud. I do hopefully see Stacks turning on Tony D, being tired of being the underboss, being tired of being talked to crazy. Tony D's been distracted lately. He has been with us, whatever. He's been with Izzy Dane so much like that. I don't like that. You're doing TV now. What this is about. We're not a family anymore. I want him to turn on that. Rich Holland can go somewhere else. I don't want him to win the NXT run back. I don't want him to win the title at all. He can go somewhere else, whatever, I feel like, speaking of which, he broke up Chase U. Duke Hudson got released. I was like, I thought that was a storyline. Like they realized, like, wow. I feel bad.
Yeah.
Wish you the best, man. I really hate that happened, man. I really thought he was gonna come back for the Chase, Tech U, something like that, reunion, something like that, though. But looks like it's not happening. I guess Chase U really is done, on some parts, a little bit, yay. But hey, he lost his job, because Chase U did in the end, though. But overall, I want to see Stacks get over eventually. I do see a lot of great things in Stacks, in my opinion. I see a lot of great things in him. I hope he can get that title off of Tony D eventually, and then Tony D can either go to the main roster or just get a new gimmick.
Yeah, see, there's still a lot that can be done there with Tony D, but we'll see. Anyways, we are 11 days away from Vengeance Day. That's happening February 15th. 4 matches have been announced already. Of course, the NXT Championship, Oba Femi defending against Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. The NXT Women's Championship match, Giulia defending against Bayley and Roxane Perez. The NXT Women's North American title match, Fallon Henley defending against Stephanie Vaquer, and then Ethan Page versus Javon Evans. So that is where we are at with this card heading into Vengeance Day. But with that being said, ladies and gents, before we wrap things up, I do want to let you guys know that if you are in the Inland Empire, make sure to check out Comic-Con Revolution. Attention to all wrestling fans in the Inland Empire and San Gabriel Valley areas of SoCal. Comic-Con Revolution is coming back to the Ontario Convention Center in Ontario, California on May 17th and May 18th. The Inland Empire's Fandom Fest has already announced some incredible wrestlers you'll be able to meet. The hardcore legend Mick Foley, multi-time world champion Booker T, and women's wrestling icon Mickie James. I got to attend Comic-Con Revolution last year, and I had the best time getting to chat with some of my favorite wrestlers. Plus, if you love Marvel, DC, have a beloved cartoon you go back to watch, or you stan Star Wars, Comic-Con Revolution is the place where fandoms of different worlds connect with the stars who bring it to life. Scheduled to appear alongside their wrestling industry guests are the voice cast of Teen Titans Go, Halo, Phineas and Ferb, all this, plus cosplayers and legends of the comic book world like Mark Bagley and Marv Wolfman. So don't miss out on your opportunity to attend Comic-Con Revolution May 17th and May 18th at the Ontario, California Convention Center. Get your tickets at ccrtix.com or check the link in the description box below of this video. And before we wrap things up, of course, you guys can check out that Comic-Con Revolution. Get your tickets for that in the comment section below. Another thing, thank you so much to the chat for reminding me. I almost forgot the last thing that closed out the show for NXT today was we got another Mystery Vengeance Day vignette that aired at the end of NXT that had 4 guys, pretty much just their silhouettes. And someone pretty much identified who those 4 guys are. So I won't give any spoilers on that. If you guys want to find that on social media, you guys can, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody in case, again, this is just people that, a social media user essentially just like based off of their silhouettes, basically, said like, this is who they are. Apparently these were guys that were featured in the, now defunct NXT, Level Up show. But it's looking like those are the 4 guys that are going to be coming in as a new stable, which is exciting because we haven't had a new stable like this in a while. I feel like this is giving me a reminder of like when they were promoting Diamond Mine. Remember when Diamond Mine was getting all those cool vignettes and then they came out?
Yeah.
Fortunately, things didn't end up working out for Diamond Mine. It's been a while since we've seen a stable like this get teased. So hopefully it works out. Of course, we need more male stables, so I'm all here for that. But yeah, so I don't want to give any spoilers just in case. I don't want to do that, but I don't even. So if anybody wants to go figure out that, you can go find it on social media. But that is pretty much it. I don't know, Chinedu, did you want to add anything else about that vignettes that we've been seeing?
Honestly, it has me intrigued. I still can't guess who it is myself though, so I might go in the comment section after the show and look at the spoilers myself, see who it is though. But I'm intrigued.
Cool. Yeah. I only know really, I think just like 2 guys on here. 2 guys are 2 guys that I've actually seen. The other 2, I don't think I've seen very much of. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're seeing. And again, that's just speculation off of somebody who just basically like put out like based off of the silhouettes and whatnot, put 2 and 2 together about who was who. They put it together. So there you go. Anyways, everyone, that was our NXT post show for today. As always, thank you guys so much for coming through, for hanging out with us here today. We got a super chat from Sleaze Boy. Hey, Sleaze Boy. He says, prediction. Jimmy is going to win the title, and it's going to be Jimmy versus Jay at WrestleMania or Super Kick Mania. Also, Tessa and Hogan should join forces. Oh, Sleaze Boy, you're wildin'. I don't think we're going to see Jimmy versus Jay ever again, especially on a WrestleMania stage after that Super Kick Mania. Although now that I reread your message, I recognize the sarcasm. Thank you, Sleaze Boy. That's funny. All right. So, oh yeah. So with that being said, tomorrow, Reg and I will be back here for the AEW Dynamite watch along. Friday, I'll be here with Robin for the post show, and then I'll be doing a watch along for SmackDown as well. And those are the two next streams that I pretty much have coming up. Check out the Royal Rumble content, everybody. There's a lot of stuff that are up for the Royal Rumble. Primarily, check out the interviews. I interviewed Penta, Tiffany Stratton. Check those out. Presser footage is all here. I am 800 subscribers away from 200K, so I'm almost there. It is like ridiculously annoying, Chinedu. I have been waiting to hit 200K forever. This has been like, you know, when you're just waiting and waiting and waiting. That's what it feels like right now. So I'm at that phase, but it should be happening soon. With that being said, Chinedu, what do you got going on?
First and foremost, I want to congratulate Denise on, I'll bring myself real quick. I'll get into it. I am my Age Mate Tour. I will be in Fort Worth February 28th at the Big Laugh Comedy Club. Tickets are available at their website right now. You can also check out my stand-up comedy if you want to see what I'm like on stage. You go to my Instagram page right now, link in my bio to my first 4 stand-up comedy specials. I have 4 that I've released over the years, 2017, 2019, 2021, and 2023. I usually drop one every 2 years, so check those out for free. On my on YouTube, go to my Instagram page, click the link in my bio to Chinedu stand-up comedy, and watch those for free right now. Drop comments, all that good stuff. In the meantime, for this channel, go and please go to Denise's Instagram page, watch those live reactions. She was at the Rumble and still made live reactions to the people coming out. That is so dope.
Well, honestly, I gotta thank Chris, the editor, for that. Chris has been working behind the scenes for me for social media on Raw and for the Royal Rumble. So shout out to Chris on that one. I can't edit and do reactions at the same time.
I was wondering, I was like, how is he doing this? Like, this is going on right now.
No, like watching the show, and I'm like recording myself, I'm reacting, and then I would just send the videos over to Chris, and Chris was working behind the scenes at putting the videos together. But yeah, Chris has been a big help for me.
Yo, we love you, Chris. Everybody drop some thumbs up for Chris in the comments too, man. But shout out to them. Watch all the videos from Denise Salcedo. She drops videos every day now, y'all. Every single day. So come to this page, catch up on interviews, watch the Royal Rumble footage, the interviews. An interview with Penna, y'all. If you have no idea what Penna sounds like, because a lot of you guys don't even know what Penna sounds like, go watch the interview right now to watch him, see what he sounds like, watch the interviews he has on there, and support the channel. Tell your friends to subscribe to Denise Salcedo's page. And overall, don't be a dick. Give it a click.
Alrighty, everyone. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys all on the next one. Bye, everyone.